I don't know, like the other day it felt like my bones were like disintegrating, and I like had that opportunity to be afraid of that and have anxiety, and it was just like an energetic thing. But then I was like, you know what, I'm going to embrace this and love this. And then it felt like the most beautiful, loving feeling ever of like I felt freed, you know, like shedding that energetic layer, you know. Like, so like it can be intense. And so when that anxiety comes up, however you get out of that situation within yourself, and it's not about trying to do something externally. Sometimes externally you need to go to a place to lay down and create space for yourself. You know, that's like the external thing you would do. You know, go out in nature. So like I used to get really bad panic attacks, and ultimately what I did for that panic attack was I decided to just die in that moment, because the panic attack, the feeling that came up with that panic attack was the feeling of dying. Like I'm gonna die. I'm afraid to die. And so I faced that fear, and I'm like, okay, panic attack, kill me, right? And it was like an ego death that happened, and I fell into my heart. And so it can be scary, you know, and it sucks. And when it happens day in and day out for you, and it's like it won't go away, it's like, I don't know if this was purely a process within me or through the collective or soul family, but, you know, I went through a 2-year period of just intense, like, death and rebirth, of just like a death period of shaking every day and like trying to suppress it with alcohol. And you know, I was working full time and going to college as well, and it was not easy. I remember going to work one day and I had to go home because I felt like I was going to disappear, right? Because my energy was expanding so much so fast, and now I'm a little more grounded and even keel, but like I've still, this past 3 years, I felt really ungrounded, but in a liberated sense, because I finally surrendered to it. So there comes to a point where we finally surrender to it, and the more intensity, the more pain, the more anxiety we're experiencing, it might be life asking us to surrender and pushing us to surrender, like yeah. Or it could just be an intense purging process, and you know, ask for help or assistance with the right people. That was another thing that was hard for me. I asked for assistance with the wrong people, and you know, to talk about spiritual things to people, mystical things, can cause people to label you. Like 40-some% of people in mental hospitals are going through some sort of spiritual awakening and trying to integrate and ground psychic abilities. And I used to work at a mental hospital. I've been a patient in it. I've been through it, right? I've done it, right? So, like this is very much true, you know. And then the other half of people, you know, a lot of people are going through the 5 stages of grief, and they're labeled depression and things like that. And then the medications create imbalances, you know, and it's like they're still trying to grieve. The medications block the grieving process, like one of the stages of grief, depression, right? So this is just like some important information I feel like I need to share with the world, and please share my wisdom, the wisdom that I download from the universe, from the super brain of the universe, right? Because it's like, this is how you do it. There's like a bubble around your head. There's a bubble that comes from your heart. You know, there's your chakra bubbles, there's your meridians, all that. But there's this other bubble that's bigger, and it's a 12-pointed star, and it's the zodiacal. You connect these energetic currents through the planet, through the star, through the other planets. You connect them to the central sun. You connect it to the zodiacs, the 12 zodiacs, and there's these currents of life. So when you go through this human experience here, you learn from this reference points in the universe. You go through all the zodiacs in your lifetimes, the 12 zodiacs. In they're like, it's all, time is a reference point. So it's like different spaces in time. That's like I'm a space and time because I have a point in time, You know, the Earth is a point in time, the Sun is a point in time. Each zodiac is a point in time, depending how expanded you look at that point in time and where you put the center in that point in time. You know, so it's all about like points of time in the way that the electromagnetic bioelectrical light current flows through it. And so it's by connecting this 12-pointed star, which is connecting to the zodiacs, which are the reference points of our galaxy. And then you can even go beyond that, which is really far out there for some people. There's the cluster of galaxies we live in, which is huge, which is a lot. It's called Laniakea, which is Polynesian for like grand heaven or something like that. So, and then our closest galaxy is Andromeda. You know, I guess I feel like I need to give you guys all this information. So this is the next step of full integration of the cosmic mind in grounding into this body. It's not about floating around in space all the time. It's about doing it from here, centered in the heart. In all 144 overtones of the human experience, frequencies of this human, so that we can transform this dimension from the inside out into a new one. And by doing this, we're starting to gain new energetic channels, new chakras. And some people like, oh, my chakra is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, purple, right? Like the meditation group I work with here, where we do planetary work and healing and clearing and all this stuff, like, it's always changing. I think last time it was like the root chakra was this ultraviolet, and then the sacral was an unconditional pink, and then, you know, bronze or gold was the solar plexus, and then the heart chakra was like white maybe. And then opalescent was the throat chakra, which is like I think multidimensional, or like lapis lazuli color, right? We need to change the way that we think. We need to change the way that we see color. You know, it's changing. You know, we're starting to see more colors, because the human eye, right? The Homo sapien could pick up 144 colors, but the Homo sanctus, which is the heart-centered person, out of the box, out of the fear, you know, fully integrated the brain and evolved the brain, now is in the heart and aligned and centered. You know, we can see more than 144 colors, because there is a certain protein in the eye that can pick up bioelectric light, and that's how you're able to see auras and stuff. And for some reason in humans, most people, this is turned off, but there's some people that this protein is active and can sense bioelectric light and see it, and it's connected to a series of glands in your brain. And I'll just leave the information here as this. Please comment, let me know if you like this information, so that I can bring more teachings. Because if people don't watch my videos, I just won't post them. Okay, so if you guys like what I'm sharing with you, you have to tell me. Otherwise, I won't make videos. Okay? Cal Forever here. Thank you. Oh.